take some arm power right there. I can guarantee you that. Well, I guess that's the way it was in the pioneering days.
Well, that's not exactly true. I mean, it is, but it isn't. I'm going to try doing some parched corn. I just kind of heard about that, and we'll kind of see what parched corn does. I think it's going to go through the grinder a whole lot easier. And I think I'm just going to shoot a whole new video on how to do parched corn. Well, I'm in the kitchen today, and I've decided to try to make some parched corn. That I've actually ground up some corn that's basically raw, that is just dried, and now I'm going to parch some corn and then grind that, and then I'll also go into making some parched corn with a light coat of oil, and then also with a little bit deeper oil, which some people call it parched corn. You get like a corn nut. I don't think that is really made for storage, because of the oil that's in it will of course start to mold. So the dry parched corn is actually what you would grind into cornmeal in order to make stuff like cornbread, or just eat it right out of the bag as an emergency fuel source for your body. So we'll go ahead and make some parched corn. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I am now heating up my cast iron skillet. It's completely dry. It just has, of course, just the seasoning that I keep on it, and I'm just going to use some of the corn. This is sweet corn that I harvested from, well, just from this summer, and I'm just going to add some in here. And I'm just going to make sure that that is just kept kind of stirred a little bit. Of course, again, this is dry corn, or a dry skillet rather. Now this might pop on occasion, so I'm going to go ahead, you know what, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until to see if any of it pops at all. If it starts to pop and start making a mess, I'll go ahead and put the screen on there. Otherwise, I'm just going to brown it up nice and dry. And they say that this, by doing this method, you can grind it a whole lot easier, which, you know, that's one of the biggest problems. I was having a heck of a time grinding the thing with that old grinder. So I'm going to try parching it up here, getting the moisture out of this, whatever might be left, and then try grinding that into cornbread. I've also decided to, if I'm going to make a batch, I might as well just do a little bit better job of filling the pan up a little bit, and really that's the only difference that I've made. Well, I've had a couple of escapees. It's starting to kind of pop a little bit. That's just the moisture coming out. It's not popping, exploding out, as you can see. It's just kind of that kernel popping with some moisture. No big deal. I do notice that the corn is starting to swell a little bit, almost like the inside tried to come out, but this didn't have enough inside it to pop the shell open, which I'm really kind of hoping that this grinds. Oops, little escapee. That this grinds a whole lot easier than the raw corn, because I'm already starting to see the color change. This is and this is the raw. The color change is, and the look of it is getting a little bit different as well. But this taking the moisture out, this should actually keep even better than what this is. This is just on medium heat. All right, well, you can tell the difference. This is nice and puffy, still just a little bit warm. So I'm going to grab a little handful. So like I said, it's still just a little bit warm. That's really good. It actually tastes like popcorn. It's not just a little on the starchy side, but it definitely has some different flavors. I wouldn't say it was sweet, and it was made from sweet corn, but I wouldn't say it was sweet, but it definitely you couldn't take a handful of that other stuff and throw that in your mouth and start chewing on it. Probably break your teeth. This stuff, no problem, easy. And that's not bad. So I could not only survive on this, but I could thrive on it. It's actually got a pretty good flavor. I mean, it's not like sweet corn. You're just and you know the deliciousness of sweet corn, but it's just like, I would say it's just like popcorn. I mean, maybe throw a little bit of salt on it, but it's dry. So I'm gonna go ahead and make that into some cornmeal and make some muffins out of it, and just kind of see how that turns out. So the next experiment will be with just a little spray coat of oil, just to kind of see if that adds a little bit of flavor to it. I think I maybe add a little bit of salt as well. All right, so here we go. This is just a light coat of oil. Looks like the pan might be just a little bit on the hot side. It's only on medium heat. Oh, maybe it was just because I let the pan get a little bit hot. But yeah, it's just on medium heat. And so that was just a little light coat of oil. And I'm just gonna put a little bit of salt in there, just for some flavoring. That's really about it. Keep getting this escapee. He doesn't want to stay in that pot. All right, well, it's starting to puff up. I'll try to bat the ones back in. Yeah, won't have too much luck with that. But the kernels are popping up nice, and I think this is going to be a really good batch as well. This might be a little bit more on the finger food variety, just because I added the light coat of oil, a little bit of salt. So I'm not going to grind this. I'm just going to use this as, snack food. And I imagine that's what the other will be as well, with the heavier coat of oil in it. Well, most of it is all browned up, and there's not a whole lot of popping action too much anymore. now that I stopped stirring, so you can tell this is pretty good. It's no real different from the first batch, other than it has a kind of a sheen to it because it has the oil. I'll be anxious to try some of this when I pull it out. Well, if you've ever wanted to know how to clean a cast iron, this is what I do. And this is especially after you've got something greasy, which I didn't really have anything greasy in there, but I lay a paper towel, and then I just use a little bit of water to steam any of that kind of stuff right off of there. And this takes off with steam pressure, or steam takes off eggs, bacon grease, all that kind of stuff, and it gets all the stuff in your paper towel and off and out of your pan. Once you discard that, then just a light coat of oil and allow it to cool off, and then before you put it away, wipe it out to get that excess oil off. Alright, so here's the moment of truth. It's still pretty hot in my hand, but this has a little bit of salt and a light coat of oil. Oh my gosh. Wow. That little bit of salt really brings out a lot of flavor. Light coat of oil. Amazing. As far as the corn, again, it's not sweet. It don't taste terrible though. It's not all starchy. It tastes like a very condensed form of popcorn. So if you like popcorn, you're gonna really like this. Again, with the oil in it, I don't think that I would try storing it for a long period of time because, well, the oil is gonna make it mold. But the dry form that we did, that's gonna be perfect. I'm gonna grind that up. It should go through the grinder a whole lot easier. And we're gonna make some cornbread and see how delicious that could be. All right, so that's the raw corn that I ground up. This is the what I would call dry roasted corn, and this is the corn that I roasted with just a light coat of oil and just a little bit of salt. So I'm going to go ahead and grind this up and see if it goes through the grinder a whole lot easier. Okay, so we're back at the grinder. And this is just the what I would call dry roasted. So we're going to put this inside. Oh man, that has a beautiful smell to it. Smells just like freshly popped popcorn. So we're going to give this a whirl. Oh my goodness. Wow. That's like incredibly easy. Okay, well, this got a little bit harder, but oh, the aroma coming off of that is amazing. Yeah, that's nothing compared to the raw. How hard it was to go through this. that is the whole bag already. Fairly, I wouldn't say it was effortless, but that's pretty easy. Whole lot easier. And there's the cornmeal right there. It is good to go. I mean, that's beautiful. So I think that's the way to do it. And you know what? If you ever get a little tired, you know, you just pop a little bit of this stuff in your mouth and chew it up, swallow it, get some water in you. It'd be good to go. This is some great stuff. Delicious. You know, I just can't get over how easy it was to parch the corn, how delicious it tastes. It's amazing. And you can't do this with raw corn. I highly encourage next growing season, you have a few extra ears of corn, to try it at least. Don't let any of your corn go to waste, for heaven's sakes. At least pick it. You know, you like my brother, he's got many rows. Sometimes it goes to waste, even with all of us around to eat it. But pick it and dry it and parch it. It is fantastic. It is a meal that that you can not only survive with but thrive with, and it lasts quite a long time. Just an amazing thing. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you supporting this channel with a like or a comment or a share or a subscribe. And if you do subscribe and you like these videos, go ahead and ring the bell. You get notifications every time that I post something, and that is usually at least once a week. So until next time, be safe out there, and God bless.